They do. But back to what Oscar said for a second. Then we'll play the Steve Kerr sounds awesome. The goal is to achieve spacing. That's the primary goal of every coach. The essence of the game now on the blackboard, the grease board, the goal is to create space between the five bodies on the same team. And you do that not by dribbling with your head down. You do that by passing over people, passing to the middle of the court, and then going. And Oscar Robertson, conceptually, he's wrong.
Yeah.
He's just wrong. It's illogical.
He's thinking of a bygone era. So it's, I don't know I don't know why he would throw this out there like this.
Sounds like he's jealous.
I know. It's just like.
Sounds like he's jealous. And I don't like to see that.
No.
Because a guy like Oscar Robertson should not feel jealous.
Appreciate the evolution of the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Some guys have a rough time with that.
Yeah.
I feel like most guys are maybe they just try to placate us and they say the right thing.
Yeah.
So I appreciate his honesty, even if I disagree with it, and as do you.
Yeah, of course.
But, one thing this is one of the first things, and I think I've said this to you, but I think because we're talking about Oscar, it's worthy to throw back in there. One of the first names I ever heard, and I love the NBA, is Oscar Robertson. Mm-hmm. And my dad, that was his era. He'd go to Madison Square Garden, and they would do doubleheaders back then, college basketball doubleheaders. Get in for a nickel, and he'd watch Wilt come in with Kansas. He'd watch Oscar come in with Cincy. All the great stars back. I don't know if Maravich ever made it from LSU, but the big names would roll in. And he was just enamored with the skill set because Oscar Robertson back then, to my dad's generation, when the game was primarily below the rim, was this incredible athletic pioneer, much like LeBron and Westbrook now. And he always told me, and I would say, it's just, even as a kid, I think this in my mind. It's the old guy hanging on to his generation. And he always said that Oscar Robertson is the one guy from that generation that not only could play in this meaning the 80s and early 90s, but also do what he did then because he was just so incredibly athletically gifted. Yeah. So I don't know what Oscar's trying to hold on to here.
I think, but
it's just
his point.
It's unnecessary.
His last point is that I actually agree with. He says, quote, I think